Today I'm building a low-cost desk setup using 3D printing. It turned out amazing. So let me show you how I built it, starting with the first item. I want a desk shelf, but they are usually quite expensive when in reality they are just slabs of wood with a pair of feet. So it's the perfect thing to DIY on a budget. You can build one yourself very easily. For example, I bought a cheap white shelf from IKEA and 3D printed a base for it, bringing the total cost to under $20. The second thing I'm adding is this, a floating wireless charging dock that clips onto the desk shelf. If I add a MagSafe charger and use standby mode, it turns my phone into a cool clock while charging it at the same time. By the way, the original MagSafe charger is kinda overpriced, so I just bought the cheapest knockoff I found on Amazon and it works perfectly fine. Next up, it's the speakers, which you obviously can't print but can still upgrade. These are the Edifier MR4 Studio monitors, and I got them for this setup for two reasons. First, they are white, so they match the white and green color scheme I'm going for, and second, they sound great while still being reasonably priced. To complement them, I 3D printed some stands to angle them up so the drivers point at your ears while sitting at the desk. I installed rubber feet on here so it doesn't slide, because without it, it moves around, and yep, now it's fully secure and it won't move. Oh, I also printed a leaf-shaped coaster with rubber feet, which I installed so I can put my drink on and it doesn't slide around. By the way, I'm using some green PLA metal filament for this, and the metallic finish looks like anodized aluminum, which looks much more premium than it should, because technically they are plastic. In case you're wondering, I already have a main desk setup on the other side of the room, but I'm building this because I want to use this as a dedicated filming set for my videos from now on. And I thought that it would be a fun video for me to film and for you to watch. The desk I'm using here is the cheapest desk you can find at IKEA, which is exactly why I bought it. It gets the job done, but a common problem with this is that they can sag over time if you add too much weight, because they are mostly hollow inside. This explains why it's so cheap and light. You can clearly see how mine is slightly warped already in the middle, and I barely used this desk. Okay, moving on to the monitor, I bought this Curry one a while back and it's surprisingly good. It's 27 inches, 1440p, has a 170Hz refresh rate, and a pretty color accurate out-of-the-box IPS panel. The crazy thing is that you can find similar models for under $200 these days. But pricing might change, and the Amazon listings are full of keywords, and especially with models like this that are not as well known, it's a bit hard to navigate, so make sure to double check the specs before you buy anything. By the way, to save desk space, I removed the awful stock stand that came with this monitor and replaced it with a cheap generic Amazon monitor arm, which is enough for such a lightweight monitor that won't be adjusted often. And to top it off, I added a smart LED strip to give it some nice ambient lighting. Music, react, pam, pam, pam. Oh, I can do gradients. That's cool. I just realized I can't flip this. It's time to organize and cable manage this huge mess with some 3D printed cable channels. If I lay them like this, we have a full desk worth of cable channels, and I can just put all the cables in here. Oh, by the way, I didn't plan this, but they fit my monitor and laptop's power bricks perfectly, so I can just shove them in there. Alongside this, I printed a few spare cable guides to help organize things a bit more, just in case I needed them. And I found this 3D model of a quick release plate that can be used to hold a power strip in place. These 3D printed cable channels are so much better than I thought they were gonna be. Everything can fit inside, even some power bricks, and you can scale them up or down, so you can fit basically anything if you print them in a bigger size. And all the cables can be perfectly managed. I am almost done, but I need to add my laptop so I can connect the display and the audio inputs. So let's do that. So the idea is to grab my laptop, and instead of having it on the desk, I can save space by installing it under here. The power button is facing my side. I have a USB port here. At the other side, I have two Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4 ports, I don't remember, but basically these USB-C ports can connect to one of them to a USB hub, and the other is my USB-C to display port that goes to the monitor. First, I'm gonna align it with double-sided tape so I can make sure that the three parts hold the laptop well, and then I screw it in place because double-sided tape will likely fall and we don't want my laptop falling to the ground, because that will be a very bad time and we don't want to break my laptop. So let's do this properly. And the laptop fits in like that. Perfect. I'm happy with this. Another thing I'm adding is an under-desk drawer so I can store some stuff, but I'm not gonna put it here because sometimes it hits my leg and that's annoying, which is what happens on my main setup. So I'm gonna put it over here on the side, that way I can open it and access it very easily, but it's not bothering me. Okay, I think it's secure. The last thing I'm adding is this, an under-desk headphone hanger, so I just go here and roughly here I can install it, and there we go. Oh, also I printed this small tray for the desk shelf to keep some commonly used small items in a convenient place. Just like hitting that subscribe button. Just one tap and you can help me keep making higher for content for you, so thank you. Moving on to the peripherals, I bought a white generic mousepad, so it fits the white and green color scheme, and it's not the best quality out there, but it's white and fits the color scheme, so it gets the job done. The keyboard, on the other hand, was a surprising find. I wanted something mechanical, affordable, well-built, small, wireless with a big battery, and good out of the box because I don't want to bother modding this. So, after watching some YouTube videos, I found the Junzi AL68, and it was practically perfect. For the mouse, I bought a white Logitech G305, one of the best-selling budget wireless mice out there. As a final touch, I'm adding a Delta Hub Carpio wrist rest. I've shown this in multiple past videos because I've been using this for over 5 years and it's just a must-have for me. Okay, we're almost done. There's just one last cool thing I need to show you as I tidy things up and clean this a little bit, and you will see the final result. So let's see that. Every single 3D printed part in this video was made using the Bambu Lab A1 Combo, and honestly, it's a game changer. I've been using 3D printers for years, but they can be a bit tedious to operate, so I've been wanting to try a Bambu Lab printer for a while. So huge thanks to Bambu Lab for sponsoring this video. Give me 60 seconds and I'll tell you exactly why this makes for an ideal first 3D printer. First, it's insanely easy to use. When I first set it up, it auto-calibrated everything by itself and was ready to print within 30 minutes. By the way, give the guy who made the instructions manual a raise because it's the easiest to follow manual I've ever seen. Every single part and step was clearly labeled so I didn't mess up anything, which I often do. Second, it's very fast. The biggest and main downside of 3D printing is that it can take a long time. So having a fast printer is really nice as it ends up saving a massive amount of time. Third, it minimizes the other problem 3D printers typically have. They are loud. I didn't know this was even possible in practice, but the A1 has active motor noise cancellation. This means it has speakers cancelling the motor noise and it works surprisingly well. On top of that, the fans don't ramp up as often either. My old 3D printer sounded like a jet engine 24/7 when I was using it, so that's why I retired it, and now I use this one exclusively because I have it, for example, here in my office. You can see my monitor here, and it's completely fine. It doesn't bother me at all. Fourth, the A1 Combo unit comes with the AMS light system, which lets you auto-switch filaments and print in multiple colors using any filament you want. I've tested it with Bambu Lab's filament, but also used third-party ones, and they all work just as well as it auto-calibrates almost everything. I don't need to tweak any settings to fix print quality issues anymore, which is a godsend compared to my old 3D printer. And on top of that, the A1 has Wi-Fi, so I can control everything wirelessly using Bambu Studio on my PC. If you're looking to get into 3D printing, make sure to check out the links in the description to find all the models I've printed and get your own Bambu Lab A1 printer today. And with that said, here's the final desk setup.